Welcome to the Know, I'm Blaine Gibson. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice writer David S. Goyer has pissed off a few comic fans after calling one of Marvel's superheroes a giant green porn star. It all went down during the Script Notes podcast where host Craig Mazin first said, the real name for She-Hulk was Slut Hulk. That was the whole point. Let's just make this green chick with enormous boobs. Adding, the whole point of She-Hulk was just to appeal sexistly to 10-year-old boys. Worked on me. Adding fuel to the fire, Goyer then responds with some rather, let's just say, not so PC words. He said, she's still pretty chunky. She was like Chyna from WWE. I don't know if Chyna was ever chunky. She just looked really muscular to me. But anyways, that's not the worst part. He then goes off on his elaborate explanation behind how She-Hulk was created, saying, I have a theory about She-Hulk, which was created by a man, right? And at the time in particular, I think 95% of comic book readers were men, and certainly almost all the comic book writers were men. So the Hulk was this classic male power fantasy. I guess he has a point there. I mean, that's not so far-fetched, right? Traditionally, some would say that more men read comic books, but that doesn't mean that women don't. And since then, according to a recent study, 46.67% of comic fans are female. Now, whether you agree or disagree, here's when things got a little messy. Goyer went on to say, it's like most of the people reading comic books are these people like me who are just these little kids that are getting the poop kicked out of them every day. And so then they created She-Hulk, right? Who was still smart. I think She-Hulk is the chick that you would F if you were Hulk. You know what I'm saying? She-Hulk was the extension of the male power fantasy, so it's like if I'm going to be this geek who becomes the Hulk, then let's create a giant green porn star that only the Hulk could F. Yeah, well, since then fans have come out in defense of the superheroine because they feel his comments were sexist and out of line. After all, she was introduced as Bruce Banner's cousin when she made her debut in 1980. Even She-Hulk's co-creator Stan Lee has spoken out against Goyer's comments, saying, I know I was looking for a new female superhero, and the idea of an intelligent Hulk type grabbed me, adding, never for an instant did I want her as a love interest to the Hulk. Only a nut would even think of that. As for her looking beautiful and curvy, show me a superheroine who isn't. Do you agree with Goyer, who's worked on the Dark Knight trilogy, or Stan Lee, who's the former president and chairman of Marvel and co-created Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, X-Men? Well, you get it. Let us know in the comments below. That's the news for today, but for the latest in gaming and entertainment, click like and subscribe, and we'll keep you in the know. That's my Hulk.